hopefully you can see just from these color swatches here, the variety of colors is in this primrose. And of course, this could be infinite, but I've tried to just narrow it down to the five. So I'll just go through these each one by one so you can see where I'm finding them, because it's amazing once you start looking at what you can find. So this color here, I'm finding hidden around some of the petal edges. So both where I've circled it there, but also sort of down here. It's subtle, but it's there. This sort of more reddy pink. And then we've got some purples, again, kind of hiding mostly in the petal edges here. And then, of course, we've got the bright pinks. But hopefully, I wonder if you can see even in the petal, there's a big variety of pink in there. This sort of almost looks more like an orangey pink, maybe with a bit more warmth to it. This here, a little bit cooler. And I wonder if you could also see a little bit of yellow. Obviously, we've got the yellow in the center, but I wonder if you can see just a touch of yellow creeping its way into the petal here. So this is what really helps me, really looking, seeing what colors I can find, helps me then work out, okay, how am I going to then illustrate this with my limited palette? And taking the perylene and mixing it with permanent rose gives us this color. The indanthrene in the permanent rose would give us this color. And I guess there are two different ways to mix. Obviously, we can mix on our paint palettes. So I could take some permanent rose and I could take some perylene maroon and I could mix them together and get that color. And we could paint that directly onto our watercolor paper. Similarly, we could take the indanthrene blue and the permanent rose, mix a color similar to that, and apply that onto our watercolor paper. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfectly, reasonable and great way to approach a painting. But I want to show you just a slightly different way, and that's what we're going to do now in this demonstration. So I really love working in wet on wet, and most of the time I choose to begin my paintings in wet on wet. I just really like being able to get a good amount of paint across my petal, keeping my washes really smooth. So here, to begin this petal illustration, I'm using my size 4 brush from Rosemary & Co. I prefer to work using synthetic brushes. I found that the Series 307 from Rosemary & Co., which is a Yorkshire-based company, is absolutely brilliant for botanical details. So if you prefer synthetic over sable, then I'd really recommend having a look at this brush series. And the size 4 allows me to really cover the area with a good amount of water quite quickly. And then this is where it gets interesting. So I've picked up a little bit of yellow from my palette, and I'm literally going to use the three primary colours to begin building up some colour here on the illustration. So obviously starting with some yellow in the centre to really bring that sort of vibrancy and that brightness that we see in that, bright yellow centre. But then this is where it's fun. So I'm just taking pure indanthrene blue here, and I'm thinking about those areas that I saw the blue hue. So it was mostly around the edges. And I'm just starting to apply that directly in its pure pigment form. Now, sometimes it might not be pure pigment. Sometimes I might, mix the colors a little bit, but I really wanted to show you the pure pigment version so that you can see it in its sort of most obvious form, this technique. So just taking that indanthrene blue and now the perylene and thinking about those areas in the primrose that had that sort of reddier hue. Again, just trying to bring some of those into the petal. And what this is going to do is these colours are going to shine through subsequent layers because the palette is transparent. The layers that we put underneath, over the top, we're going to be able to see through to these underpaintings and these colours that we laid down.